Hello there. The G.I. Joe Sky Striker from 1983, a toy that I have always wanted, and as you can see here on the turny table thing, I have managed to get one. So what we are going to do in this video is I am going to explain why I bought this, what I think of it now that I've finally got one. I'm going to compare it with the Cobra Rattler, which I still have my childhood version of that. What I don't like about it. And finally, right at the end, I'm going to make some alterations to it to see if I can make it any better. So make sure you stay to the end to see what we do. Right, okay, that's enough of that. Let's get on with this.
Hello there.
He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe.
Cobra Invasion! Get the G.I. Joe Sky Striker! Ace the Airborne, let's get those turkeys! We're gonna get Cobra this time! Our combat jets are on the way! Hey, check my missiles! They're A-OK! Great, I'm going down for a closer look! Way to go, Joe!
G.I. Joe Sky Striker comes with Ace and 2 parachutes. Other figures sold separately from Hasbro.
So, why did I want to get myself a 1983 Hasbro G.I. Joe Sky Striker? Well, it is a toy that I have wanted for a very, very long time. Since about 1988, when I saw the 1986 movie Top Gun.
I feel the need for speed.
I wanted to have an F-14 to play with, basically. But unfortunately, Hasbro stopped producing this in 1986. The exact same time that the movie that would have sold about 10 times more of these things, Top Gun, came out, which was a bit of bad timing, I believe, by Hasbro. But then I can understand that they probably had other things in development for a few years that they wanted to release, so they retired the Striker. Now, as I say, this is something that I wanted since I was a child. I did have the Cobra Rattler, which I am going to put on the turny table thing a little bit later so that we can see how that compares to this one. There are a few things I've already seen that I prefer with the Rattler, but we'll leave that for later. Now, I managed to pick this one up at the In the Toy Zone toy fair here in the Netherlands. I had told myself before I went that if I saw one in reasonable condition for a reasonable price, I would pick it up.
I'm heading in. Every time you do that, Ace, it gets expensive.
And this one is in a fantastic condition and was at a reasonable price. So I had no option. I had no other option but to get my money out and buy the thing directly. It is not 100% perfect. Maybe eagle-eyed viewers have already spotted a few things that are not correct, which we will go into shortly. First, I want to point out these were broken off, these tail fins. Hey, you like my little pointer? Yes, as I say, both of these were broken off. Someone had tried gluing them on and made a big hash of it. There was a big melted fingerprint here, which I managed to polish out with some headlight polish, actually, which is very good at cleaning canopies also. So, yes, I had to put in about an hour's work to clean up this fin, clean up the underside of the fins so that they were smooth again, and then I just dabbed a little bit of glue on the back here so that should I need to, I can rather easily snap them off again. And if I want to make them even more perfect, or if I want to sell it maybe and package it up, I can do that quite easily. Other things that are slightly amiss with this vehicle is here we have a G.I. Joe sticker. I'm going to have to pick it up So you can see we have a G.I. Joe sticker here, and that should not be there. As we can see here, under here, we have G.I. Joe. And if we put this down and turn it around, we have, go back, we have this one. We are missing G.I. Joe. We are also missing the other Air Force sticker, which I'm not sure should go there or should go on the wings, because we have one here on the wing, or whether we're just missing one completely. It's okay. I'm not going to cry about it. I think it looks fantastic as it is. I do like these little faults you get with the stickers. It's the same as on the tail fins. We have here the number 14 with a star sticker, and if we look at the other tail fin, if we can turn it, we have the number 14 with the star, but it's now in the middle of the wing and it's not symmetrical. But okay, it's fine, it's fine. We will live with it. We also have a lot of no step stickers here over everything, and I'm not sure exactly where they should be, because we have more stickers on this wing here than we do, no, sorry, we have more stickers on this wing than we have on this wing, and we are missing stickers from this rear tail wing. Again, that's perfectly fine. As I say, I paid a reasonable price for this. Reasonable to me. And the thing that really stands out about it is that this plastic, being that it's at least 40 years old, there's no yellowing anywhere. These tail fins have gone slightly, very, very slightly, it's a slightly different color to the rest of the body. They're slightly darker, I think. I don't know if that's shadow, lighting, or the plastic itself. I don't even know if that's showing up on camera. But other than that, I mean, the main body of the aircraft, of the toy, is just, in fact, it looks like it's just come out of the box. It's absolutely beautiful. I've just noticed I'm missing a sticker here for the pilot's name. Captain Brad Ace Armbuster. Now, this is the Dutch version. That's why we get G.I. Joe was the Dutch version. We didn't have G.I. Joe, as I say, in the UK. We only had Action Force. I know that this is a Dutch version and not an American version, not only because I bought it here in the Netherlands, but because I have here the information card. And we have here, this is in Dutch, although this is, I believe, in French. Oh, we have it in French and Dutch. Maybe this was also sold in Belgium. But there we go. It's kind of nice to have that, if not the entire box. So what do we think of this set? Well, what I do like about it, definitely, is these hidden features underneath the plates here. You can take them off and you can see some lovely detail in there. The Rattler also has a few plates that you can take off in the same way. But these plates, they feel like they're made of more rubbery plastic. Whereas the ones on the Rattler, from memory, are quite a hard plastic and sometimes a bit difficult to unclip without everything breaking off. It does suffer from what all the G.I. Joe vehicles suffer from, well, the planes anyway, well, the Rattler anyway, is that the missiles, after a time, they become a little bit loose and they will fall off at the drop of a hat. But other than just small things, really, and I'm definitely not going to glue them on. They can just fall off. It's fine. Now, this does have a rather interesting mechanism. So obviously we are now in our landed mode, but we can, by moving this lever, that will collapse the landing gear. And as you can see, also under here we have all the flaps, all the landing gear is complete. and it all goes away so nicely. It's such a lovely mechanism that they've built. Spring loaded so that the springs will assist in pulling it back. And then of course the wings sweep to give us that awesome flying mode that the F-14 had. Well, obviously it could fly with its wings out also. So yeah, this is really, really cool. And then you can just push that back out. Feels like it's going to break every time. Makes me nervous because, as I say, it's at least 40 years old. And I know from bitter experience that some of these 40-year-old toys, well, they just break while you look at them. But that mechanism does feel very, very new, very, very unused. It's the same, this thing, I don't even know if this has ever really been played with. I'm guessing that it was a toy for a kid because, yeah, some of the stickers are wrong. I think that sticker, I'm looking at it and it looks like it's backwards. I'm not sure. But yeah, as I say, some of the stickers are wrong. It looks like it's been done by a kid or someone very, very quickly. Maybe it was a teenager that bought it and just had it on display. It has not been displayed in the sunlight because, as we can see, there is no sun damage to that plastic. There are a few scuffs on the wings. Here and here. But other than that, as I say, it is absolutely bonza. Right, so what we're going to do now is get the Rattler on the turntable thing. Have a quick look at that one.
Time to reshuffle this deck.
And this is my childhood Rattler. This is the one that I played with as a kid, and I have very, very fond memories of playing with it. It's a little bit dusty, unfortunately. Excuse that. It's too big to fit in my display cabinet that's there behind, which means this one is going to be also way too big. So this has been sitting on top of my display on this upturned display stand, which fits there nicely. The reason why I don't have it anymore on its own wheels, as it were, with the undercarriage down, is because it is brutally fragile. Doesn't have a mechanism like the Striker does, and you can see here these have broken off before when I was a kid because it has to get over this lump here to keep it steady. Over a few times it would just break. And the back ones, they're also really, really stiff, and I don't even want to try and put them any further than that. So that is a problem with these vintage Rattlers, and I think it's a problem with all the old G.I. Joes. The plastic that they used is just so brittle. Always loved the way, well, this was based on the A-10, which was one of my favorite aircraft. I love the way it had this massive cannon on the front of it. Obviously they've changed it by having a rear gunner pilot can go in there, which is a pretty cool addition. But its main addition that made it super, super cool was that you can do a vertical takeoff. Again, this is all a little bit sketchy. So by turning the wings, it had vertical takeoff ability, which I thought was a nice addition. Oh dear. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. She survived. The plates that I was telling you about, well, we have here, we can take this off, we can see a little bit. They had 2 sets of plates, damaged ones and standard ones. My standard ones are hidden away with all my spare bits somewhere. And this one, oh, one of the bombs has fallen off. Yeah, again, this is what I was saying. This one here does not want to come off. I'm not going to force it because I don't want to break it. But you'll have to believe me that there's detail underneath this plate as well. You can also pop the engine covers off and see some lovely engine detail. So I think really both of these toys are quite fragile for what they are. But hey, this survived me playing with it quite brutally as a kid, even though I did used to look after my toys as much as I could. So I can see the younger version of me having some good fun with both of these toys back in the day. So let's get this one back on the turning table thing. And I will explain a few things that I don't like about it.
Guess it's time to bring out the heavy artillery.
Okay, so the first thing that I am not 100% sure about is the play feature. So basically, as you saw earlier, you can flip this switch there and you can do that, and now it's in flying mode, let's say, and that's its main play feature, which is great. I suppose you're going to play with it and you're going to basically pretend it's an aircraft and a plane, so you want to be able to hold it and fly it, and you can pop the missiles off and you can attack the cobra things. But as a play feature, maybe it could have had a little bit more. A small gripe, missile fell off again, a small gripe, but again, not a massively serious problem with it. Really, playability, there are no problems with it. Canopy is a bit stiff on this one, but again, it does open, but it doesn't want to stay open that easily. Interesting thing with this is it came with one pilot, but it had 2 seats, so you could then put an extra pilot in the back. If you were flying the actual plane, you would need someone in the back, otherwise a lot of things would not work. The pilot did the flying, the guy in the back did the operating. This also came with ejector seats, which would have had parachutes, but unfortunately that's the one thing that is missing from my version, is the parachutes. But that's okay, because they would be tucked here in the back. It's all right. I don't mind missing them. So yes, and then we have the pilot, and this is my main gripe with the pilot. He looks a bit too futuristic and like he should be going into space. Yes, it's pretty cool that he has this helmet that comes off like this and you can see him there, and all right, fine, lovely, but I think he's just a bit too futuristic. I think there could have been other options to have a more pilot looking guy and then put this guy in a spaceship or something like that. Unfortunately, my version also, his plane's good, but his groin isn't. Hey ladies. Yeah, so he's suffering from that classic G.I. Joe groinal injury. Again, not a big problem because he's going to be sitting in the plane. We're not going to see it. Also, he's the inside of his legs is discolored, so it does look like he's wet himself. Also looks like he's been out in water because the screws have gone rusty. And it's really weird that this guy should be in this condition, whereas the plane itself is in fantastic condition. So it is possible that this is not the original figure that came with this vehicle, and either the dealer that sold it to me or the dealer that sold it to him or whoever has sold the original figure if it was in mint condition and just popped a slightly broken one with this vehicle. I could upgrade this. I could buy a new one in better condition, but that would, they go for about 50 euros, and that's really I think that would be a waste of money. Let me know in the comments below what you think, but I think it would be a waste of money to replace this guy, because you don't really see it. You see the top half here, he has his helmet, it's fine, it's fine. But what could we do to make this better? How about we stick Airtight in there as the pilot? He does sort of look like a pilot with his helmet there. I think that would have been a better option, or Hasbro could have repainted him or just used bits of him to make a better pilot option. Or how about sci-fi? Pretty cool, futuristic pilot. Yes, his helmet doesn't come off. Yes, he's a little bit goofy, but if you had him also in white and red instead of the green, maybe. Or a wild weasel. Or even better, 2 wild weasels. The UK Action Force range came with pilots, actual pilots. These 2 are SAS pilots. Unfortunately, they do not have the hole in the back, so they don't sit properly in the ejector seats, as it were. But I do think that they look pretty cool in there. They do look like they're going to go off on a mission now. So that would have been an idea, to have copied the Palitoy Action Force pilots and had a figure like that. And maybe you could have done 2. So you have a rear pilot and a actual pilot. A rear pilot, a co-pilot, obviously. Sorry about that. Or we just put Batman in there. This is a Spin Masters Batman. He doesn't really fit very well. But still pretty cool to imagine Batman as part of the G.I. Joe crew. So with that, what do you think of the Sky Striker? Did you have one when you were younger? Do you have one now in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Sky Striker. I want to keep saying skyscraper, but it is a Sky Striker, especially after I saw the movie Top Gun even.